Hello once again to all the members of the Somerdale Pensioners Association, colleagues who are still working and friends of the Somerdale 500 group. This is the second briefing during the period of lockdown that I've been asked to provide on behalf of the Somerdale Pensioners Association. It is with great sadness and respect that we acknowledge the loss of two of our pensioners, Max Packer and Nick Popoff. We wish to send our love and our deepest sympathy to Val, Gary and Steve Packer, and to Val Popoff and her family at this time. I do hope the rest of you have stayed safe since the last video. I also hope you've managed to stay active and find things to do during the lockdown period. It has not been an easy time during lockdown with many facilities closed. No doubt we've all had to learn how to do things we normally pay others to do. I've had to get the clippers out, as you can see, twice to stop myself looking like some hippie from the 60s or 70s hippie movement. We are once again thankful to Alan Hillman's contribution to the Somerdale 500 group, assisted by others I might say, including Nicholas Salter's contribution from the collection of personal magazines that Dennis amassed over the years. These have been a great distraction for all of us. Wednesday the 20th of May should have been the Somerdale Pensioners Association AGM. The association constitution requires us to have an AGM every year. Due to these exceptional circumstances, we have to postpone the AGM until sometime after we start our regular monthly pensioners meetings. I hope you'll watch the COVID-19 roadmap briefing Boris Johnson gave at 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. This was a brief overview of the session he was to hold in Parliament the following day, which outlined the government's COVID-19 recovery strategy. This plan is very much conditional on what happens at each stage and must keep the rate of recovery number R below 1. If it doesn't, the plan will change. Unfortunately, the papers like to put things in straight away, and they're saying things will happen on this date and things will happen on that date, and they very well may do if things go well. On the other hand, they may change, so don't get your hopes up and rely on that totally, because the government will brief if things change or if they're going to continue. I think they still will do, but the plan may change. It is conditional. I have read the document, it's 60 pages, and I will share the link with this to anybody who wants to read it. I'll try and share it. Remember to share it at the bottom of the post or on a separate post, but one way or another, I'll try and remember to do that. I have to be realistic and say that due to the age of our group, I believe we will be amongst the last to start socialising, which is likely to be when the COVID-19 level introduced by the government reaches 1, which is green, meaning COVID-19 is no longer present in the UK. I don't want to frighten anybody or make them feel despondent, but equally need to advise that we all still need to proceed with maximum care. It remains that some people are clinically more severely vulnerable than others. These include those over 70, those with specific chronic existing conditions, and pregnant women. These people need to take particular care to minimise contact with others outside their household, but do not need to be shielded. On a humorous note, I do not think the risk of ladies in our group getting pregnant is likely to happen. I do think it is very minimal and not likely to be a big concern to our group. Or it might be a big concern if they all do start getting pregnant. But on a more serious note, for this group in England, you may now venture outside for exercise as many times as you wish, but need to follow the advice of only socialising with members of your own household, and you must maintain social distancing at all times, no matter how hard. Also, for those in this group that can drive, there are no restrictions on driving in England, providing the rules of social distancing and restricting to members of your own household are maintained. These rules are different for the rest of the UK, where you need to respect the rules that are currently in place in Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and their plan may evolve differently than ours, as we already know. And it could be that you're not permitted to enter their country during their period of lockdown, or during the role engagement that they have in place. Those in the clinically extreme risk group are advised to stay at home at all times and to avoid any face-to-face contact. This is called shielding. The government realise the position these people may be in and have wholesalers providing priority food orders for those who said they need it. The government have also facilitated volunteer support for people who make contact. Councils are also helping by providing regular calls. Those who are shielding can also request support of NHS volunteer responders. Can I reiterate that if you are lonely and want to make contact, members of the Pensioners Association are more than happy to do this. The people in that group in particular that can't get out and have to stay shielded, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling down, talk to somebody, phone somebody up. But if you've got any doubt or you want to make contact, then please contact somebody in the Pensioners Association and we will be glad to do that. From analysis, currently 80% of the people who've had or have COVID-19 have mild conditions or were asymptomatic, with some reports suggesting that of those, 50% are actually asymptomatic. Why is this important? Asymptomatic means someone is a carrier of the virus, but has no signs that he or she actually has the virus. This does mean it's very likely that if you start mixing with people, there's a big risk you could pick up the virus yourself from somebody who has it, but is not affected themselves. Children can carry the virus with little or no symptoms. The risk to children is very, very low. The risk to us as pensioners is much higher. In discussion with some of the members of our group, the one thing that has been coming through consistently is that people are missing their grandchildren. They just want to hug them, they want to hold them, and they just want to love them and spend time with them. Please, please resist the temptation to get close to your grandchildren at this time. The time will come when you once again will be able to embrace them and be able to do that safely. The government has said it would be advisable when going out to wear surgical type masks. When you wear them, you need to wear them correctly. You need to cover your mouth and your nose, your nose and your mouth, if I get my geography right, trying to eliminate any gaps around the side. This is almost impossible to do completely. And don't allow this to lead you to complacency. It's been recognised that if you are wearing a mask, it is actually giving more protection to people from you than any protection from them. Unless everyone is wearing a mask who you're socialising with, the risk is still quite high from people who have the virus that they could pass it on. I hope you all managed to enjoy the celebration of VE Day in some way or another. I'm sure you all must have heard Vera Lynn or another singer or musician perform We'll Meet Again. I know it was mentioned in the Queen's briefing, but try to stay upbeat. As words say, we'll meet again. Don't know when, don't know where, don't know when, sorry. But I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Well, it might be a while before we do this, and it might not be sunny. It might even be winter, it might even be spring. We don't know what time, but it will be a glorious day when we do, and I'm sure we will all be so pleased to see each other when the alert level drops and we can all meet up once again. On behalf of the committee, please take care. Please stay safe. God bless.